Hello everyone. Before I start the video, I just want to say that in this video I'll be showing some iPad drawing footage where I create animated gifs on the iPad. I create 3 of them: the unknown, I surrender, and failure is an option. If you want to see me draw failure as an option on my iPad, then do jump ahead to minute 2 and 20 seconds, I guess. And if you want to see my intro on why I created these illustrations or animated GIFs in the first place, then just continue watching. Hello. So this week for me was all about surrender. To kind of surrender to the underlying feelings of fear and doubt and things like that. That's probably always can come up or will come up whenever you do something new or try to go into the unknown, as I call it. So I wrote a blog post about it over on my website about how that happened, what it means for me when I say that I surrender then to these kinds of feelings and how that is freeing. And in the end, what happened was that I managed to kind of go move forward through the unknown, and had the idea of creating some little animated GIFs with some, slogans around the unknown and surrendering and allowing failure as an option. So this is what this video is about. It shows me creating these animated GIFs on my iPad. I'm not showing the entire process. I'm going to time lapse it, but I'm just some of the drawing that I did. I hope you enjoy, and if you are interested in how to create animated GIFs, I actually learned it through some YouTube videos, and I'm going to link to them in the description. Okay, thank you, bye-bye. I created 3 animated GIFs altogether, and I want to talk about failure as an option here in a bit more detail, because I have the best footage of when I created that. So as you can see, I'm in Procreate, and I'm going to be opening a canvas just in a moment, and I'm pausing it here because I just wanted to say that I've created a custom canvas that is quite big and has 300 dpi and is in color space CMYK, because I'm actually playing with the thought of having 1 or 2 of those slogans printed on a t-shirt or a mug or something like that. Okay, but that's just a side note. Let's move on with the actual drawing of this failure is an option animated GIF. Well, the first thing I'm doing here is I'm trying to find the right brush to create a background that represents this kind of a bit dreadful and dark feeling of the unknown and the possibility of failure. And so that's what I'm doing here. I'm just trying different brushes and finding out which one to use as a background for the writing. If you create, I think this is actually the one that I'm then going with, yeah. When you're creating animated GIFs in Procreate, what you basically do is you create the same drawing over and over again with just slight differences, and then when Procreate puts it together as an animated GIF, it will just show these layers as frames and kind of stitch them together in a loop. So what you see me doing here is I'm creating this cloud again and again, and I'm using the cloud below as a template for the next layer. So I'm reducing the opacity so I can see it just a little bit, and I'm creating a new layer on top and putting a new cloud that has roughly the same size. So I'm actually not so I haven't done this very often, so I don't actually know what's a good number of layers to have. So I just went with whatever I felt like was right for the amount of clouds that I created. So I did start with the clouds, and then in between you might be seeing me go to the export
function in Procreate to just preview how that GIF or that animation of the GIF turns out. I think you'll see me do that in a moment. Yeah. So as you can see here, so there are like, I think I've just created about 6 or maybe 7 clouds. Each cloud is on a different layer. And now I'm testing it. So I'm having a look, and I'm changing the number of frames per second, which changes the speed of the animation. And I think there was a glitch in Procreate here where it didn't show as an animation. Didn't really know why, so I just went on to do the writing. So now what you will see me doing here now is choosing the brush, and I think it is just a Procreate pencil that I'm using. And and I wrote down the sentence, failure is an option, because that was an important point for me to realize that instead of fighting and kind of trying to do everything to not fail, it was freeing for me to accept failure as an option, and that allowed me to move on this week. So I'm creating this writing, this handwriting here, failure is an option, and it's on a separate layer from the cloud. And you see me twitching or tweaking the position and the sizes and everything. And what I will be doing then is I'm going to be creating a group of 2 layers. One layer is the cloud and one layer is the writing, and then I'll group that together. And then rewrite the same sentence again and again, each on a separate. Here you see me grouping it. There we go. I grouped it and I copied and pasted the first writing to the next layer. I reduced the opacity so I can see it, and I'm now drawing on top of it. And by hand drawing on top of the same writing, I'm creating a layer that is almost like the first one, but it will, because it's all handmade and I'm not being overly precise with exactly going over the first writing, it will just be slightly different, and that's what makes the animated GIF, the writing in the animated GIF, wobble around later on. So this is a bit of it's a bit like a coloring book or something. So it's very relaxing. It's really good, a good type of thing to do while you're watching a film or listening to a podcast or something like that, because you are basically redrawing, what I did here, I redrew the sentence, failure is an option, about 7 times or something. Now I think at some point now my camera actually broke down. This is why I started with this slogan, because I actually don't have the footage of the other ones that I created. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch over in the footage to the footage that is created by Procreate within the app when you are painting. Actually, it does go on a little bit. Well, there is a moment where it will just cut off, and then I just put in the Procreate videos afterwards. Here, so I'm testing it again. It's going now super fast because obviously this video footage is time-lapse, so it's faster than it would be in reality. Yeah. So creating one layer after the other of the footage, not of the footage, sorry, of the writing. There's the second layer. I think I noticed when I looked at the animation that I didn't think that the spacing was so good, and that the words needed to be a little bit closer together. So I'm going into every written layer and moving around the 2 words is and an option, so they read better. You know? And now I'm continuing with the writing layers. No, actually, no. I'm still tweaking the position of the words. Yeah, it's definitely well, like as all kind of graphic design and visual work and video editing and everything. It's really a work that's got the kind of work that's got a lot of details and repetition, and you need to be a quite patient kind of person. Yeah? So here I'm testing the animation again, and I was happy, I think, and I'm creating another layer and another layer of writing above a cloud, and I think this is probably where my footage will end at some point. Yeah. So yeah, as I said before, I'm going to be linking to some YouTube videos. I think two in particular I have in mind that inspired me to try out creating animated GIFs in Procreate. So those are a little bit more step by step than what I'm doing here. Mine is maybe like an intro, giving a bit of a general intro on how it works. Yes, so this was the moment, and now you can see this is another wonderful feature of Procreate, that it, in the background while you're drawing, it creates a little film of your drawing. So that's failure is an option. You can see me tweaking around here and drawing every layer of writing, and in the end this is the animated GIF that came out. Now the other two animated GIFs that I created are going to be here as well. So that's the unknown. There's a bit of German in there because I created it in German and English. So this is a representation of the scary unknown that we are walking into at the moment as almost like a whole humanity, but every individual always does that. Yeah? So this is the unknown. And then I created another one that I called I Surrender. And I tried around a bit how to do it. And in the end, I settled on these colored pencil wiggles. And yeah, this is this idea of surrendering, of in the end not giving up, but giving in to those feelings of doubt and fear that inevitably built up in the unknown, and that are part of the journey, and that are those feelings that you kind of have to surrender to in order to break through and take a new step. So with that said, I hope you are well, and I do hope that you dare to take steps into the unknown and feel everything that is there to feel, and that you in the end surrender in this really positive and productive way that will help you to move forward in trying the directions that you have the desire to try. All the best. See you. Bye bye.